Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Nur Syahira binti Zakaria. My matric number 253373. And here we will discuss about riba, exploitation and its effect to economy.
What is riba? We translate it as interest. And riba is something that was common and predominant in many societies, including in pre-Islamic Arabia. It was well known and it was common. If I gave you 1,000 dinars, $1,000 or whatever, I would demand 1,100, after 2 months. And if you were late, 1,200. If you were later than that, 1,300. This is the standard form of riba. Now, technically speaking, there are other types of riba in Islam, but this is the most common one that we're still aware of, and it is still commonly practiced to this day. When Islam came, our Prophet ﷺ explicitly forbade riba. And the Quran equated riba with declaring war against God and His Messenger. فَأْذَنُوا بِحَرْبٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. There is no other sin in Islam that has been equated with declaring war. It's as if you're waging war against your own Creator. There is no sin that has that strict language attached to it. And there are many evils in Islam that you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to murder, you're not supposed to steal, there are many sins, and each one has some punishment, there's no question about it. But this specific punishment of declaring war against God and His Messenger, no other sin has been given that description.
So when we're talking about riba, it is actually well correlated with financial institutions, especially banking, as their way of taking profit is by charging interest on the loan that they lend to people. So in Maqasid Syariah, there is an element of eliminating exploitation and also fair and unequitable distribution of wealth. Here we will discuss whether riba or interest has the element of exploitative, and does it give effect to the distribution of wealth in the economy. The Quran clearly prohibit riba, as they said it is unjust and has the element of exploitative indeed. So one who practice riba will face punishment.
And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran that of the wisdoms of prohibiting riba is لِكَيْ لَا يَكُونَ دُولَةً بَيْنَ الْأَغْنِيَاءِ مِنْكُمْ, so that wealth doesn't become a plaything that remains amongst the rich amongst you. So wealth shouldn't just remain amongst the rich.
Usmani also stated his opinion that the interest-free banking system that being introduced by the Islamic Bank is made by the principle of the Maqasid Syariah, because they want to avoid the element of exploitative on others. Common argument states that the lender is rich and the borrower is poor. However, the lender is not necessarily rich, as it is actually savers. When they have enough money, they will invest because they want to earn profit. However, the borrower is unnecessarily poor, as actually they are the one who want to borrow money for their own personal purpose. So this is what being called as lack of any counter value, as both of the party have their own purpose and benefits from the agreement. Riba also occurs when there is stipulation of access, where the borrower have the chance to longer the period of repayment, but the principal that he owed must be doubled or tripled based on the lender's wants.
You see, from an Islamic perspective, riba or interest is the essence of economic injustice. Why? A rich person will lend money to a poor person with guaranteed return, and the poor person might fail in the business, the poor person might not be able to do what he's doing, and the rich person is profiting off of the fact that he's rich. That's it. He's literally profiting simply because he has money in his bank account, and the poor person needs that money, and he goes, here's the money and I demand much more money back. And that is why it is the essence of dhulm or injustice, the height of injustice. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from ever committing any such sin.
So, if interest is allowed, the borrower will need to pay back more than he owed to the lender. So, this is shows that there is the element of exploitative, as the borrower will be deficit of wealth and the lender will earn more than he actually have. There will also be unfair and unequitable distribution of wealth in the country if this is happening.
You got a house in New York in 1820. You paid $10,000 for that house. Or better yet, you paid a brick of gold for that house. A brick of gold you paid for that house. Now you own that house, right? And you bought it on interest, of course. So you're supposed to make payments of $10,000 over a course of 20 years. How much did you end up paying? $25,000. Now come times for you to sell that same house. You're going to sell it for $11,000, $12,000, make a little profit. What are you going to sell it for? Well, you spent 25, so you should at least ask for 30. The next guy buys it for 30. He's going to take another 30 years to pay it off. How much did he pay? He paid 60. He's going to sell it. He's going to sell it at least for 70. The next guy buys the same house, same brick, same foundation, same patch of land, same physical material value. But the next generation and the next generation and the next generation, it becomes more and more and more and more difficult for them to afford the same thing. The same exact thing becomes more and more and more difficult for them to afford. And perhaps even the previous generation died paying it off, paying 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times the price of what it was actually worth, and left their children in debt or homeless. Those generations got robbed of that wealth. People got robbed of that wealth. That's what riba does. That's what it robs people.
So, in conclusion, we can say that riba or interest has the element of exploitative in it, and also it will give effects to the distribution of wealth in the economy. So the government need to do something, need to prohibit riba in order to reduce the exploitation on others, and also for the more equitable distribution of wealth in the